Section 1, The Hunter's Instinct, Anatomy of a Feline Predator. To comprehend how a cat interacts with a snake, one must first understand that the encounter is rarely driven by a conscious intent to protect a home or its human inhabitants. Instead, the behavior is almost always a manifestation of a powerful and ancient predatory drive, honed over millennia. This instinct, present even in the most pampered and well-fed domestic cats, is the primary catalyst for any confrontation. The predator within. The domestic cat, Felis catus, is an obligate carnivore and a highly efficient predator. Its mind is wired to stalk, chase, and pounce on small, erratically moving creatures. This programming does not distinguish between a mouse, a lizard, a bird, or a snake. They are all potential prey that trigger the same sequence of hunting behaviors. When a cat encounters a snake, it sees a stimulus that activates this innate drive. The interaction that follows is often misinterpreted as a defensive battle when, from the cat's perspective, it can be a combination of hunting practice, territorial assertion against a fellow predator, or even a form of play. Anecdotal accounts frequently describe cats batting at snakes, toying with them, and engaging in prolonged games before delivering a killing bite, if they do so at all. This reveals that the motivation is rooted in the cat's own predatory satisfaction, not in a calculated act of guardianship. The protection a homeowner perceives is, therefore, a fortunate but incidental byproduct of the cat's self-serving instincts. The feline arsenal. Should a cat choose to engage, it is remarkably well equipped for the task. Its primary weapons are its razor-sharp retractable claws and piercing canine teeth. Unlike a snake, which typically relies on a single, decisive strike, a cat can deliver a flurry of rapid, damaging blows with its paws. These strikes are often aimed with startling precision at the snake's most vulnerable areas, the head and the neck. Many snake species have delicate bones in their upper body and skull, which are susceptible to being fractured or crushed by a cat's focused attack. If the cat progresses from swatting to biting, the killing blow is often a targeted bite to the cervical spine at the back of the neck, a technique used to dispatch prey quickly by severing the spinal cord. A spectrum of courage. It is a critical misconception that all cats are adept or willing snake hunters. The intensity of the predatory instinct varies dramatically among individuals, influenced by personality, prior experience, and temperament. Some cats are prolific hunters, regularly dispatching snakes, rodents, and other small animals, and may even present their kills as trophies to their owners. Others may exhibit only mild curiosity, observing a snake from a distance without any attempt to engage. Still others may be fearful and retreat from the encounter entirely. This variability means that a cat's response to a snake is fundamentally unpredictable. A homeowner cannot assume their specific cat possesses the killer instinct required to effectively neutralize a serpentine threat. Relying on a cat for protection is, therefore, a gamble on the individual animal's unique psychological makeup. The duel, a biomechanical breakdown of an encounter. When a physical confrontation between a cat and a snake does occur, it is a contest defined by a profound asymmetry in biomechanical and neurological capabilities. The cat's frequent dominance in these duels is not a matter of strength or size, but a direct result of its overwhelming advantages in reaction time, multidimensional agility, and tactical intelligence. The neurological gap, reaction time as the decisive factor. The single most decisive factor in a cat-snake encounter is the neurological gap in reaction speed. A cat's reaction time is astonishingly fast, with documented ranges between 20 and 70 milliseconds. In contrast, a snake's reaction time, while quick, averages between 44 and 70 milliseconds. This seemingly small difference is monumental in a close-quarters fight. It means that even at its fastest, a snake is often reacting on the same timescale as a cat at its slowest. This speed advantage is not confined to a single limb. While a snake's speed is concentrated in its strike and head retraction, a cat can move its paws, head, spine, and entire body with this incredible swiftness. This allows the cat to perceive the snake's attack as if in slow motion, giving it the ability to process the threat and initiate an evasive maneuver. after the snake has already launched its strike. This capability is further enhanced by the feline nervous system. A cat's spinal cord can process a threat and send signals directly to the muscles for an explosive, reflexive movement even before the information has fully reached the brain for conscious processing. This near-instantaneous response makes the cat an exceptionally difficult target to hit. Agility versus the linear strike. The duel is also a contest of contrasting movement styles. A snake's primary offensive weapon is its strike, an incredibly fast, ballistic attack. However, this attack is largely linear. Once the snake has committed, its trajectory is fixed, and its body is momentarily extended and vulnerable. The cat, on the other hand, is a master of three-dimensional, unpredictable movement. Its uniquely flexible spine, combined with powerful, fast-twitch muscle fibers throughout its body, allows it to reorient itself in mid-air, jump sideways, leap backward, or pounce from multiple angles in the blink of an eye. This profound agility means the cat does not have to simply outrun the snake's strike, it can effortlessly move outside the linear path of the attack, making it an exceptionally difficult target to acquire and hit. The art of the fight, feline tactics. A cat's approach to a snake is not just a flurry of random movements. It is often a display of calculated, tactical prowess. Experienced cats demonstrate a remarkable ability to manage distance, instinctively staying just outside the snake's maximum strike range. They employ a bait-and-counter strategy, using a quick paw swat to provoke the snake into striking. As the snake lunges, the cat has already dodged and is in position to deliver a counterattack while the snake is exposed and recovering. Furthermore, cats are known to circle a coiled snake, effectively hurting it, preventing its escape, and keeping it in a defensive posture where its movements are more predictable. If the cat decides to end the fight, it will exploit a moment of vulnerability to lunge in and deliver a precise, often fatal, bite to the back of the neck. The venom factor, deconstructing feline resilience. The most perilous aspect of a cat-snake encounter is the potential for a venomous bite. While the image of a cat fearlessly facing a deadly snake is common, it has fostered a dangerous myth of feline immunity. The truth is more complex. Cats are not immune, but they possess a remarkable and multifaceted resilience to snake venom that gives them a significant statistical advantage over other domestic animals, particularly dogs. Myth versus reality, cats are not immune. It must be stated unequivocally, cats are not immune to snake venom. A bite from a venomous snake is a life-threatening medical emergency for a cat, just as it is for any other animal. Venom can cause a catastrophic cascade of symptoms, including severe pain, swelling, tissue necrosis, paralysis, and organ failure, often leading to death if left untreated. Any suspected snakebite requires immediate and aggressive veterinary intervention, which typically includes the administration of antivenom, intravenous fluids, and other supportive care. Without this prompt medical attention, a significant venomous bite is frequently fatal. The coagulation conundrum. The scientific basis for a cat's enhanced resilience lies partly in its blood chemistry. A primary mechanism of action for many snake venoms, such as that of the Australian eastern brown snake, is a condition called venom-induced consumptive coagulopathy, VICC. The venom contains powerful procoagulants that cause widespread clotting throughout the bloodstream, rapidly using up all of the body's clotting factors. Once these factors are depleted, the blood can no longer clot at all, and the animal bleeds to death internally. Groundbreaking research from the University of Queensland revealed a crucial difference in how cat and dog blood responds to this process. The study found that snake venoms acted significantly faster on dog plasma than on cat plasma. Paradoxically, this is because a dog's blood has a naturally faster spontaneous clotting time. This inherent speed makes the dog's coagulation system more susceptible to being hijacked and rapidly depleted by the venom. A cat's slower clotting blood is more resistant to this effect, meaning the lethal VICC develops more slowly. This does not prevent envenomation, but it grants the cat a critically longer window of time to receive life-saving veterinary treatment. Behavioral and tactical advantages. Physiology is only part of the story. A cat's typical behavior during an encounter also contributes significantly to its higher survival rate. Bite location: dogs are naturally inquisitive and tend to investigate novel threats with their nose and mouth. Consequently, they are often bitten on the face or muzzle, areas that are highly vascularized. This allows venom to be absorbed into the bloodstream with devastating speed. Cats, by contrast, are more cautious. They typically engage a snake by swatting with their paws. As a result, bites are most commonly sustained on the forelimbs. These extremities are far less vascular than the face, which slows the rate at which the venom spreads systemically. Post-bite behavior: when injured, a dog's typical response is to panic or remain active, which increases heart rate and circulation, rapidly distributing the venom throughout its body. A cat's instinct when injured or threatened is the opposite. It will seek a secluded spot to hide and remain as still as possible. This behavior, while driven by a desire for security, has the beneficial effect of slowing down its metabolism and circulation, thereby impeding the venom spread and increasing its chances of survival. The combination of these factors, a more resilient physiology and a more cautious, defensive combat style, creates a synergistic effect that underpins the cat's remarkable ability to survive venomous snakebites. Survival statistics: a numbers game. The data clearly illustrates this survival advantage. Studies, particularly those involving the highly venomous eastern brown snake in Australia, show that cats are twice as likely to survive a venomous bite as dogs. Without antivenom, the survival rate for bitten dogs is approximately 31%, whereas for cats, it is 66%. With prompt and appropriate veterinary care, the odds improve dramatically for cats, with some studies reporting survival rates as high as 92%. However, it is crucial to maintain perspective. These statistics do not imply safety. Other retrospective studies have shown mortality rates in cats between 16% and 22%, even with veterinary care, underscoring that a venomous bite remains a high-stakes gamble where survival is never guaranteed. The protective halo: deterrence, detection, and environmental control. While direct confrontation is the most dramatic aspect of the cat-snake dynamic, a cat's most reliable and consistent contribution to home safety is often indirect. The true protective value of a cat lies less in its role as a physical combatant and more in its capacity as an environmental manager and an early warning system. Understanding this distinction is key to leveraging a cat's presence for safety without relying on high-risk physical encounters. Indirect protection: the Mauser effect. Perhaps the most significant way a cat protects a home from snakes is by controlling the local rodent population. Snakes are opportunistic predators that are primarily drawn to a property by the presence of a reliable food source, which very often consists of mice, rats, and other small mammals. A cat that is an effective mouser, a trait many possess even when well fed, actively depletes this food supply. By eliminating the primary attractant, the cat makes the property a far less appealing habitat for snakes. In this sense, the cat is not deterring the snake directly, but rather removing the incentive for the snake to be there in the first place. This form of indirect, environmental protection is arguably a cat's most effective and safest contribution to snake control. The sentinel: an early warning system. Even a cat that is not an aggressive hunter serves as an invaluable sentinel. With their acute senses of hearing, sight, and smell, cats are exceptionally adept at detecting the presence of a snake long before a human would. A cat that suddenly becomes intensely focused on a particular spot in the yard, under a car, or in a garage, often accompanied by hissing or low growls, is providing a clear and timely warning of a potential threat. This behavior serves as a crucial alert, allowing homeowners to exercise caution, secure pets and children, and address the situation safely. There are numerous accounts of cats alerting their owners to hidden snakes, in one case famously swatting at a slipper infested by a rattlesnake, thereby preventing a potentially fatal bite to the owner. The superior strategy: proactive habitat management. Ultimately, the most effective and reliable method for protecting a home from snakes has little to do with the cat itself and everything to do with proactive environmental management by the homeowner. Making a property inherently unattractive to snakes is the best defense. Key strategies include eliminating shelter, removing potential hiding spots such as rock piles, wood piles, tall grass, dense shrubbery, and debris. Removing food sources, securing garbage cans and cleaning up fallen birdseed or pet food that attracts rodents. Sealing entry points, carefully inspecting the home's foundation, walls, and doorways for any gaps or cracks and sealing them to prevent snakes from gaining entry. By taking these steps, a homeowner shifts from a reactive posture, relying on a cat to handle a snake that is already present, to a proactive one that minimizes the likelihood of an encounter altogether. The high-stakes gamble. A sober assessment of risk and responsibility. While the capabilities of a cat against a snake are impressive, it is imperative to balance this fascination with a sober assessment of the profound risks involved. Every direct encounter is a high-stakes gamble with potentially devastating consequences for both the cat and the snake. From a risk management perspective, allowing these confrontations to occur is an irresponsible practice. The only truly winning strategy is prevention. The risk to the cat. The venomous bite. As established, a venomous bite is a dire medical emergency. Symptoms can manifest rapidly and include extreme pain, swelling, vomiting, diarrhea, muscle tremors, paralysis, respiratory distress, and ultimately, coma and death. The need for a veterinarian. Survival often hinges on immediate veterinary care, which can be intensive and costly. Treatment frequently requires hospitalization, intravenous fluids, pain management, and the administration of expensive antivenom. Even with treatment, the outcome is uncertain. Long-term consequences. Cats that survive a severe envenomation may suffer from debilitating long-term effects. These can include permanent tissue damage, chronic pain, kidney failure, vision loss, or even the need for limb amputation. Rhabdomyolysis, or severe muscle damage caused by some venoms, can lead to persistent weakness and pain. Furthermore, the traumatic experience can lead to lasting behavioral changes, such as anxiety or depression. The risk to the snake. The encounter is frequently lethal for the snake as well, an often overlooked aspect of the dynamic. A cat's attack, with its sharp claws and teeth, can inflict fatal wounds, including a broken spine or crushed skull. However, even a seemingly minor injury can be a death sentence for the reptile. Cat claws and teeth are colonized with bacteria, most notably Pasteurella multicida. A simple scratch or puncture wound can introduce this bacteria into the snake's system. The ecological impact and owner responsibility. The issue extends beyond the immediate safety of the two animals to the broader context of responsible pet ownership and ecological stewardship. The domestic cat is recognized by scientists as an invasive species in many parts of the world, responsible for devastating losses to native wildlife populations, including birds, small mammals, and reptiles. Allowing a cat to roam freely where it can encounter and kill native snakes contributes to this ecological damage. Considering the severe risks to the cat, the high likelihood of fatality for the snake, and the negative impact on local ecosystems, the most responsible course of action for a pet owner is to prevent these encounters. The single most effective way to achieve this is to keep cats indoors or provide them with safe, secure outdoor access via a catio or other enclosure. This single decision protects the cat from a myriad of dangers, including traffic, disease, and predators. Prevents it from harming native wildlife, and eliminates the risk of a dangerous snake encounter. The conclusion is inescapable: the confrontation between cat and snake is a lose-lose scenario, and the only ethical and logical choice is to prevent the fight from ever happening. A balanced verdict on feline guardianship. The analysis of the complex relationship between the domestic cat and the snake yields a clear and nuanced verdict. While the cat is undeniably a formidable opponent for a snake, equipped with superior reflexes, profound agility, and a surprising physiological resilience to venom, it is a grave mistake to consider it a reliable form of protection against deadly threats. The popular perception of the feline guardian is largely an anthropomorphic interpretation of behavior driven by predatory instinct, not a conscious act of defending a home.